Welcome, everyone, to episode 30 of your favorite podcast, Waves on the Shore, with myself and Jaron. Yes, it's episode 30. We've made it to the big 3-0. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. We have the usual segments, what are we listening to, who the frick, all that jazz, as well as quite a bit of new music to talk about, which we are going to get into. Jaron is, I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to try and say something, but I don't know.
Jaron's a freaking lady killing.
That's false. So Jaron posted a video with me in it, and because I'm in it, you should check it out. I would obviously abstain from his other videos, but the one that I'm in, the haircut video, check that one out. Maybe go check out the Overshore guy. He's pretty cool.
I actually through the bottom of my desk just kicked my mic. Not my mic. This isn't my mic. This is my face cam.
Back's been hurting lately. All right. Well, anyways, we're gonna.
But don't check out Evan's videos. If you ever meet him in person, he kind of smells bad. He also eats cat food. He sent me a picture earlier.
This guy's dissing my chicken on rice, saying it looks like cat food, and then proceeds to go eat pretty much the same thing, but without chicken.
No. I had a very healthy white rice with roasted vegetables, not baked vegetables. Roasted vegetables. I keep kicking my freaking face cam.
So can I ask what the difference is between that and my rice with cooked vegetables, other than the fact that it had chicken?
You had a can of Purina cat food poured over the top of the vegetables.
There was chicken, and
gross,
the chicken had
bro.
broth with it. That's all.
Yeah, well, when you get it out of a Purina cat food can, I don't know, dog.
It's fine. Our tap water.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
But yeah, we're back. We're back for episode 30. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I think we're just gonna dive right in with some new music. Jaron, I'll let you pick. What do we want to talk about first here?
I actually want to talk about Kane Brown first.
All right. So Kane Brown, obviously, drops his brand new album, fittingly titled "Different Man." Kane Brown is a different breed, and so he's now naming his album.
He's built different.
He is
his life is
built different.
One might say that his life is a movie.
Is that a line in one of the songs, or
My life is a movie, bro.
Different Man is like a whole, I don't know. So Kane Brown, he's been like, is this only his sophomore album? That's crazy. No, it's his third, because there was his self-titled, then Experiment.
Has it really? Wait, how long has it been since?
Unless you're calling the mixtape EP an album, it's been 4 years since Kane put out an album, which is crazy because he seemed to remain pretty relevant during all of that time away. But yeah, Different Man is the album. It came out just a few weeks ago now, or was it just this past week? It was just this past.
It was
Friday.
literally 4 days ago.
Yeah,
this past Friday.
17 songs, 58 minutes. I accidentally started playing Ronnie Millsap.
I said, "Oh."
I have my music app open, and I accidentally resumed what I was listening to.
Yeah, I have Spotify open, but you didn't hear me do that, Evan. Okay, so step it up.
Bro,
actually, you know what? Don't watch this guy's videos. Watch mine.
I've already said that. Anyway. Yeah. So, I'll start, and I will say that the album was. I know it's titled Different Man, but it was surprisingly different, surprisingly unique. Whether that equates to like
surprisingly good, I think maybe.
I was gonna say,
like, I'm not saying
that equates to quality. I think it's kind of hit or miss, but there's definitely more hits than I was expecting because he takes more risks. It's not like thank God 17 times. It's just like he goes out there a little bit, and there are some times I was like, "Hey, I like Kane."
This album is kind of like Chris Stapleton's haircut. It's iconic, but is it good? You know, like it's not. You're iconic.
Calling this iconic?
No. I thought it was a decent joke. I'm sorry. But no, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, it's got its fair few duds like Grand. Thank God.
Yeah,
but
Grand is a dud.
I was surprised by the amount of good songs, and I kind of like. It started off a bit. I wasn't sure. I thought "Bury Me in Georgia" was okay. I didn't really like "Different Man." Maybe it'll grow on me, but I felt it to be kind of corny. Like I get what it's going for, but it
was kind of. Like, I thought it was a bit cringy because he's like. I get what he was going for.
Stage, shut up, bro. Like.
He was like, I'm just different.
Yeah, it's literally like an Olivia Rodrigo song, but in the style of
Hey,
Blake
yo,
Shelton.
don't hate on my girl.
Watch
All
me.
right, get that talk out of here.
Uh,
I don't care that much.
it was a bit corny. What are the lyrics to that one? Can I pull that up?
Pull it up.
Where's the chorus?
Different Man was that one the one with
Blake Shelton.
that Blake Shelton's on that one?
Yeah.
Okay,
What if
there
I
were a
was-
couple times on this album where, well, so I literally listened to this album once. I listened to it an hour and a half ago. Oh, I need to put this down because it's distracting me. I listened to this while I was mowing, and so I've only listened to it one time, and multiple times during the album, I had to stop, pull out my phone, and be like, "Is there somebody featured on this?" Because sometimes I would just think that somebody else was singing.
I know what
Like-
you mean.
He would I don't know, he would like edit his voice in such a way. There was another song later in the album where I was like, is Blake Shelton on 2 songs on this album? Like, I literally thought that, and I
It
was like,
definitely feels
it's
like
just Kane.
There's definitely moments on this that feel like I know. Here's the thing, right? I know that God's Country was just a single, and like it never became an album. Granted, he had like Minimum Wage and songs like that were similar, but I feel like just that God's Country has seemed to have quite a ripple effect, like quite an influence on a lot of like country artists going for this tough like industrial sound. Not maybe particularly redneck, but going for a little bit more like dark sounds, a little more ominous. I kind of like it though, especially with Kane Brown. I thought it worked. Now there are times that I find it to be a little cringy, like Different Man, where he's like, "But what if I was made for the stage? What if I was made for the lights? I don't care. I don't care." Okay.
Well, that's the best song on the album, though.
No. Definitely
Actually,
not.
no, sorry.
It kinda
That is
sta-
grand, actually.
That see songs like Grand and Different Man, and I'd have to listen again, but I just remember not being too fond of Bury Me in Georgia. I remember when I started this album.
I like how Bury Me in Georgia sounds. I like it more than Different Man, at least.
Yeah, I just
I
remember
don't-
thinking like, is this really gonna be like gym rat tank top? Like, you know, everyone that looks
Gym
like
rat.
Kane Brown gonna listen to this? Is that like what music he's looking to make? Like, you know, people that are gonna listen to like weird
I will say-
remixes and stuff.
The album cover is an interesting choice. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's like, creatively, what was the vision here? Like, all right,
It's not very
Kane, I got
different.
this- Well, it's just like,
A black and white picture.
none of his albums. Okay, so I think we've seen the left side of his face, the right side of his face, and the front of his face. Actually.
That means something. He's saying something. Guys.
Oh, and we've also seen what is that? His right forearm and then his left forearm. Oh, wait, no, that's the right one on both. That's actually. I'm looking at his first album and then the deluxe edition. It's him doing. It's
A
interesting.
Different Man cover almost looks like his EP from 2015, which is another black and white one of him in a black tank top. But
Is it
that
really?
said, he got that Batman tattooed covered up for good reason. That is a bad tattoo.
He has a
Um,
Batman tattoo.
Check out his first EP, the cover.
Oh. Huh.
Very glad he got that covered up. That is
He actually
nice.
he does have a Batman tattoo. Wow. Interesting.
It's a bold choice. You can still kind of see
I-
it, but I still think his Experiment cover is really good. I don't know, it's so basic, but I've always liked the deep blue with the bright red and his skin tone. It just works really well for me. Different Man album cover. I will say it's fitting. I think it fits the vibe, but it's nothing crazy. But yeah, I think I was just surprised at the music because it is very all over the place. It's very scattered, but I think it
It
had
is, yeah.
a lot more highlights than I was thinking or than I was expecting. I think if I had to run through my favorites, I think I think it starts off pretty slow. I think you have to get to the back half of this album because the whole like
I
other
would
than, like, I love
mostly
country
agree
music,
with that.
like you
Yeah.
get to Thank God and it's like, oh my goodness, like no. But if you just
didn't-
stick it out,
I don't hate, thank God.
I
I-
do.
Really?
I like not hate, but it's such a throwaway for me.
Sure.
It's just so.
I mean,
like,
I'd rather listen to it than Different Man or Grand.
I'd have to think on
Probably even. I'm a person that doesn't really like I love country music. I'm not really
that
sure
one.
why.
I can see people liking or disliking. I'm pretty indifferent towards it. I don't really care for it that much. But I think once you get to the back half is when a lot more of the experimentation comes through, and when it gets really good. Like, Drunk or Dreaming is not particularly like a Kane Brown song. I think someone else could have done it maybe a little better, but still a pretty darn good song. Maybe it just landed in the wrong hands, but it's not a diss to how his version came out.
Yeah, so if the last like, what is that, 8 tracks on this album, maybe 7, like starting with One Mississippi probably, if that was a separate album, I would honestly probably really like it, because
the back half of this thing is strong.
Yeah, because I like
is.
Well, Whiskey Sour is.
I stand by Whiskey Sour so
I
much.
just really, really, really like Whiskey Sour. And Pop's Last Name, probably my favorite song on the entire album.
That was a real shocker. That came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, and then I like Devil Don't Even Bother.
Yep.
And then Nothing I'd Change and Dear Georgia were both pretty solid, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, especially Devil Don't Even Bother. I thought that was a really clever song. It almost reminded me just naturally of Bigger Fish to Fry by Brad Paisley.
Bro.
But I love that one.
Like, so first it was Dustin Lynch who made an album with a couple songs that were actually decent. Now Kane Brown's doing it, and it's like,
what's going on?
Yeah, it's actually been like, what we're actually.
You know what that means. You know who must be waiting in the wings to make good music? Up Church. Maybe he's gonna make good music.
I don't know if I've ever actually listened to an entire Upchurch song.
I sadly have, or maybe I haven't listened to the whole thing.
I sadly have. It's weird though. We're in September. We're halfway through September.
Like the year is closing down.
Yeah, and I'm looking back on it. I think it's been.
I think
pretty good.
22 has been a great year for country music.
Yeah.
Especially names like Kane Brown, like Dustin Lynch. These people making like pretty darn good music.
Especially, it still seems like we're like getting, some artists are still kind of like maybe might release something. Is that other
Ashley
Thomas
McBride.
Rhett side?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ashley McBride, September 30th. Look out. Thomas Rhett side B is supposed to drop at some point at the end of this year, whenever that winds up happening.
Okay. We'll see if it's good. I
I
like side A.
I do too. You know
there's
what?
like 2 There's like 2 or 3 songs that are but I like it for them.
Yeah, no, I do too. I think I'm excited at how late we've gotten, and Thomas still hasn't even mentioned side B, because like he said it was coming later this year. I'm assuming by that it wouldn't be like December. I was thinking it was going to be like in October, November, in which case we still have no announcement, no pre-releases, and I like that.
What if side B just becomes a Christmas album?
Oh, no, don't even say that. But like, I like that it would appear as if we're not going to get this really dragged out release pattern. Like, I mean, where we started was like 6 or 7 months. Actually, probably more than that, because when it came out in April, Slow Down Summer was like July or August. So that was a really drawn out release. But I'm excited for this Thomas Rhett album, unless he doesn't follow through on his word, in which case, frick you, man.
It's going to be awkward having an album called Side A, and there just not being a Side B that exists.
Okay. We are back after some technical difficulties. Evan's mic is buns. It doesn't work. It stopped. But we'll pick up where we left off. Charlie Crockett's The Man from Waco. He put it out. As I said, I've never been a massive fan of Charlie Crockett, simply because I haven't been able to get into his voice from a personal taste standpoint. However, I gave The Man from Waco a go when I saw he put it out. Like I said, I've only gotten through the theme and Cowboy Candy, but I really like them, so I will be going through that album when I get time. But yeah, I am listening to Charlie Crockett. I've got so many messages of people. Have you listened to Charlie Crockett? I'm getting there.
I should.
You should.
But I'm also not a sheep. People can tell me. So I'll listen to what I want to. Bro, I still need to like. Oh There's somebody else besides Charlie Crockett that I like. Ko Wetzel. Like, I think I would like Ko Wetzel.
Album coming out Friday too.
Yeah, I probably would like Ko Wetzel. And because his new album is coming out on Friday, I'll probably just wait until Friday to listen through his new album. But I probably should have like listened to his stuff like.
I like the pre-release
a year
Creeps.
ago.
I do mess with it.
Okay. I've been listening. I don't know how. So we've heard Sold Out and Wait in the Truck by Hardy.
Yeah.
And
We're switching gears.
Yeah, well, I'm on the rock thing now because we started talking about Ko Wetzel. And I'm really interested to see
what Hardy does.
Sonically how that album, whatever the album ends up being. Because I feel like we're going to be getting one in maybe like October, November.
Halloween album.
Yeah, maybe like late October. I guess it depends on when. When did he release Sold Out though? He waited like 3 months until he released Wait in the Truck. So I don't know.
A while ago now.
We'll see. We'll see when it comes out. I hope it's.
We will find out.
But just I'm really interested because I'm big into the blurry Sold Out Hardy. I mean, I like most stuff that he does. He has a couple of his really early songs that I'm just kind of meh on, but like, and then we don't talk about Hixtape too, but. I don't know.
It's blacklisted from this.
I know there's a lot of people that are not like me that do not like Sold Out, do not like Blurry. People are always like, "Oh, Blurry's horrible." Look, you got to understand, Blurry is not for you. Like it just isn't. Like if you don't like it, there's a reason.
It's a style thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad I mean that's the thing. You can say that a lot about a lot of music, but like it's not a bad song. It's actually a really well done cover of a very popular Puddle of Mud song. You just don't like it. Like
you just don't like bad
music. But I freaking love it, man. It's like I grew up with that kind of like. There was a song called Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin. I said there was, like it doesn't exist anymore. There is a song called Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin. And it's very much like a heavy metal rock song. And I grew up with it because I played Halo and it was in the Halo soundtrack. And like, so the kindergarten me is over here killing freaking aliens and listening to like dudes screaming. And like, I'm not big on Screamo, but it's like, there's tasteful screaming that in some songs that I don't mind. Like Kaleo does it a little bit.
Something I can never get into, man.
Yeah. Well, I also think there's a difference between like screaming and like there's kind of like a yelling. Yeah. I lean more in the yelling direct. Like Hardy yells. It's less of like a abrasive like death metal scream. But anyway, let's we just hit a couple speed bumps, but we're on we're on to the Jon Pardi.
Yeah, big album. One of the biggest releases of the year so far. John, I say so far, but we're so far into the year now. Gosh, that sentence was English. So, Jon Pardi finally released his fourth album.
Okay,
Mr. Saturday Night.
On that, I often to me this is his third album.
Me too. I almost said third.
I always forget that he has a first album, and maybe that's like disrespectful to the man. But like his other three albums,
I don't think he even likes that album because I forget where, but I remember him saying something like when that album came out, he was like, "Yo, don't judge me by this album here." So I think he knew he had to play the game to get his foot in the door, but
Kip Moore
I don't
moment.
think he likes it. What?
Kip Moore moment. Just that first album and how different it is from everything else. Like you're never gonna get Kip Moore doing another song like Beer Money or something about a truck. That's just not gonna happen, you know? Like but yeah, actually it is really interesting to me with the Jon Pardi thing because me and Zach saw him live and we already talked about it, I think. But he played at least one or two songs off of that first album. I don't remember what they were because I don't listen to that album. But it might have just been one song. I enjoyed it, but I'm saying "but" a lot. I'm curious to see what it was. Let me look at the track list right now. But what are we thinking on this next album while I look this up?
Well, my review is up, so if you want some very in-depth analysis, you can check out my video about it. But I freaking love this album. I've listened through it so many times now. Like, I really... Have I gone a day without listening to at least half of this thing? I don't think so, and it's been out for, like, almost 2 weeks now. It's just really freaking good. I like how Jon describes it, too, when he says that even he's like, it's nothing new. It's just really good music, and that's exactly what it is. Like, he's not trying to do anything new. He just knows how good he is at this style, so he keeps pumping out incredible music. I think it's a really, like, it's a front-to-back listen.
Hey, can I really quickly... There's something I just thought of with the Kane album. The 4th track, Go Around. At first, I was kind of like... Okay, that whole song was, like, some of the best moments for me and some of the worst. And that's mostly because there's this really good fiddle that's, like, really, like, Celtic-y.
Yes,
it's the
I forgot about that part.
And it's, like, really cool. I just wish that the rest of the instrumentation didn't suck buns, you know? Like, I don't know. That part of the song is really cool. I just wish the rest of the song was better. Like, I wish it was a different song.
I wish,
because I feel like it could have been really good. And I love fiddle, and you know I like bluegrass and Celtic stuff, and so like that just kind of reminds me of like Russell Crowe Robin Hood, like that soundtrack, bro. Like so much like Celtic fiddle, and it just like Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. That's what it reminded me of, and I was like, this is kind of cool. I wish it was better. Anyway, sorry, I thought of it, and I wanted to get that off my chest.
Yeah, my thoughts on the Jon Pardi album are out there if you want to go see my in-depth, but I just think, like, if you know Jon Pardi or you know what you're getting yourself into, you know it's going to be really good. And he's kind of he's almost like flaunting at this point. He's like, I am so good. I am the king of this. Let me just do it again. Like, I made a classic. You want to see me do it again? You want to see me do it again?
You want to see me do it again? It's the SpongeBob thing. Yeah.
That's what I'm referencing.
Yeah,
he's literally sat
I love
there.
it.
He's got California Sunrise. Then in 2019, he was like, you want to see me do it again? And then 2022 rolls around. He's like, guess what, guys?
You want to see
I'm
me
going to do it again.
again?
I'm going to drop another classic. So, yeah.
I'm actually
really
live. I'm going to see what Grady said, because he said, LMAO, you manifested this. Oh, jeez. This better be good. No.
If you enjoy timeless Christmas favorites...
Okay, you guys are getting my live reaction to. So Grady sent me a Josh Turner post.
What is it?
And
Is it
at first I thought it was okay. It says, I'm excited to announce that we have a new Christmas special and DVD coming out this holiday season. I wanted the special to feel like an extension of our Christmas tour from last year. My family came out on the road, and they were a big part of... Oh, my... Like Josh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Grady, I'm just going to say I hate my life. The thing is, that Christmas album is not bad. It's not
No,
a
it's
bad
good. It's just Jaron needs some new original music from him.
Sorry, that was completely off topic, but
That was hilarious. That was a good stop in, though.
I don't... But anyway, I'll give my thoughts on the Jon Pardi album.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's hard for me to... Like, comparing it to the last two. They're all just really solid, and it's hard. I know a lot of people are probably still gonna say that like Heartache Medication is their favorite, because I feel like that's what most people do say. But I'm one of those people that kind of likes California Sunrise a little bit more. And
for me, it's really tough. I almost want to put all three on like an even playing.
If you asked me,
I guess which one I want.
It's like it depends on like the day, I guess. But I think
it really
most of the
depends how you're
time.
feeling.
Most of the time, I think I would pick California Sunrise. There's so many songs on that album that, it's weird, because I'm typically a sadder, more in the feels kind of guy when it comes to music, but for some reason, California Sunrise just kind of like taps into this part of me that just like freaking Cowboy Hat, and just like, I can't even think straight right now, but like all of his. There's a bunch of like Night Shift and Heartache on the Dance Floor, Head Over Boots. All of these songs, I think, are just a lot of fun. but they're also good. Like, you know, and just like
They're good fun, not like
Yeah.
a radio fun.
yeah, and oh my gosh, I saw Lucky Tonight live. I loved that. And
Ooh,
I
that's a
do
good
really like Heartache Medication, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's
one. Jaron hates
bad.
it.
I think it is better suited for a sad boy time, and I still love it. Like, we have so many, like, Heartache Medication is kind of more upbeat, but even then it's still kind of like, it's literally about he
Coping.
needs heartache medication, like, because he's heartbroken, you know. And this next album, this Mr. Saturday Night, I think is kind of maybe like a mix of those two.
I was gonna say it's
kinda.
almost an in between.
Because you got Long Neck Way to Go, even though that's not really like, okay, let's stop putting other people's songs on our albums. But then there's
I know, because I was
also-
listening to like sorry to cut you off. I was
No,
listening to
You're good.
the Jon Pardi album, and then after that I just felt like Midland, so I threw on Last Resort. And it's like, wow, I heard this song 45 minutes ago.
It's
Skip.
really weird that they were like, you could have just not put it on here.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Is Long Neck Way to Go necessary for this album? I really don't think so.
I don't
just
think it
feels like a
is.
Midland song. Maybe it's
It's
because
still
I'm used
good.
to it being under Midland's name. It's still a good song, but it's like, realistically, if we crop that and just go from Santa Cruz right to Rain Check, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, so you have like Fill Her Up, Last Night Lonely, Long Neck Way to Go, but like it's still a fun song. Okay, Smoking a Doobie, like all of those songs are like super fun, and then you have Reverse Cowgirl, The Day I Stopped Dancing, Hung the Moon, one of the best ones
Hung
in
the
my
Moon's a good
opinion.
one. I don't think
Um,
I talked about that enough in my review. That's one thing I wish I did more.
that Hung the Moon might be my favorite, but I also really like Reverse Cowgirl. I don't like saying that.
Sounds weird.
And then Mr. Saturday Night, I do think is still probably a standout. Neon Lights, they're all good. All these songs are good. I think Santa
There's
Cruz.
really no skips. Honestly.
Santa Cruz is interesting to me because it kind of reminds me of California
It's like-
Sunrise, a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Although I think California Sunrise
It almost
might
felt
be a
to
little
me
bit
maybe
better.
like a Kenny Chesney song in a way. Maybe I'm weird.
Yeah,
saying that, but
a
just,
little
like,
bit.
The whole vibe of it, the melody and whatnot. The whole
Or maybe like a
escape-
beachy
like,
Zach Brown band song. Maybe.
Yeah, but it's just like that whole like escapism or like flashing back to like teenage life is not something John has really ever sung about. Like I know a lot of artists they like to sing about like looking back, reminiscing on being younger. John doesn't really have any of those songs, so it stood out to me as different when I heard it for the first time. 'Cause I was like, oh, this is like something he doesn't normally like look into much, and maybe that's why it feels like. Maybe that's why it reminds me of other people, just because John never really does these types of songs. But I still think
Sure.
it's a really good song.
Yeah. This one, oh man, I don't know. I do need to listen to this album more. I've been overwhelmed with things to listen to recently. It also doesn't help that, and it's an album that I'm going to talk about later. And what are we listening to? But I've been listening to a certain other album a lot because I really like it. And so it's been hard to like be like, okay, stop listening to that. You need to listen to these 5 albums or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting, but still very good. I don't even know like what would I give it out of 10? I'm gonna try to rate it right now. I'd probably do California Sunrise is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. So this is just like I'd probably give that a 10 out of 10. It's not actually perfect, but I just enjoy it so much. And I'd probably do this like. I'd probably put this on the same level as Heartache Medications, maybe like a 9 out of 10 or something. I think they're all just really good.
Surely my memory's not this bad, but I'm pretty sure I gave this like an 8 on the dot, or like I'm pretty sure I gave an 8 on the dot. I would stick by that. Maybe you could bump. Maybe it'll go to an 8.5 over time. I friggin' love this thing. But yeah, Jon Pardi album, very good. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It was so cool when I was listening to it the first time because, like, you know, John's not one of the most like active artists of all time in terms of like releasing music. He's not constantly just feeding you. So it's like I remember back in 2019, that feeling when Heartache Medication dropped, like going to school that day, being like,
It's
oh my-
been
like,
3 years since Heartache Medication.
which is nuts. But it's
It
like
doesn't
I remember
feel like
walking.
that.
I know. I remember walking through the halls and just being like, man, like a new Jon Pardi album. And I can remember thinking, I might not get another Jon Pardi album during my time in high school, and I didn't. So it's like to think that
Wow.
way back then, if I knew I was gonna have to wait this long. But then I was driving to the gym that day on Friday. I was at Planet Fitness, and I'm listening through this album. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like not. It's not every day you get to listen to a Jon Pardi album for the first time. It felt so like, I don't know. I loved it. I loved it. It's a cool album, very good album. I love the feeling it gave me.
My first listen was also, I listened to a lot of, like, if I have to listen to an album, I put it on while I'm mowing my yard. My yard is, well, you've seen my yard, and how we don't have a ride mower or anything like that. It's a push mower, and doing it all at once would take probably at least 3 hours, 3.5 hours with a push mower. And so what we do is we split it up into 3 sections. And so there might be like 3 days in a row where I mow. So that's enough time to listen to like 5 albums.
Yeah.
So it's really convenient. Like I can't be doing anything else, so I might as well listen to an album. Sometimes I listen to a podcast if I don't have anything else to do. But very good. I actually remember I remember a lot of albums through my time mowing the yard. It's weird. Like Countryside A, I remember really enjoying it while I was mowing.
It is cool. It is a thing, like, your first time listening to an album and how that sticks to you. Like, I still remember, like...
mowing really helps me focus on the album because I'm occupied and I have nothing else. Like, there's nothing else to distract me. I'm just mowing. I'm, like, listening. Like, I'm kind of in the zone. Whereas it's harder for me to sometimes, like, be like, okay, I need to listen to this album, but I kind of want to watch this, or I kind of want to, like, do this, and I'm not going to focus on it.
I listen to the album. I often take my dog for a walk when I need to listen to a new album. What are some fun times? I remember like listening to Let It Roll when it first came out, staying up late. I can like remember just laying in my bed and falling asleep like 3/4 of the way through, and then having to listen to the rest when I woke up. You
know what I've never actually experienced before?
What?
Like genuinely, I've never experienced a brand new original Josh Turner album, like when it released, because I wasn't always into country music. Like, so, like, I got into it probably, like, sophomore year of high school. And at that point, I think Josh's last album was in 2017, I think. That sounds right. And,
half a decade.
Yeah.
Bro's been waiting.
Yeah, and but I remember buying that album. It was new. It had, like, recently come out, but I didn't, like, I think it had come out, like, 2 months before. And that was, like, when I started getting into country, like, really. That was, like, the beginning of it. And I remember I got it when we were, like, on my way to my grandparents' house. And we had, like, stopped at Walmart. And I saw it. And I was like, I'm going to buy it. But it's, like, it kind of makes me sad that I've never, like, actually... Like, I've listened to... He has had other albums, but they're not... I go off about it, like, almost every episode. So I'll shut up. But that kind of made me sad. Yeah.
What are some artists that I've never experienced a first album for? Or, like, experienced an album, like, listening to it the first time. I'm staring at a Frank Ocean poster above my desk. I don't think I'll ever get to experience a Frank Ocean album new.
What's the deal with him? I don't, like... What's his, like... Is he dead? Is he alive?
No, he's alive. He's still kicking around. He just doesn't make music. Bro just, like, dropped my favorite album ever and dipped. Which I can't lie.
How many albums does he have? Like 2?
2 and a mixtape, which you can pirate if you want. Okay. Like, here's the thing with Blonde. When I first found it, legitimately this is how. Was bored during quarantine, Fantano review, thought the album cover was cool, watched it, was like, wow, he talked about that really positively, checked it out, loved it. As time's gone on, right, and I adore that album, as time's gone on, I've noticed it almost to be, like, everyone's go-to for their favorite album. Especially, like, a lot of white girls. They're like, oh my gosh,
yeah, I was
Blonde.
gonna... Everybody...
Then,
that's one thing I noticed, because you were... I always remember, I relate that album. When I hear about it, I relate it to you, because you're my friend who likes Blonde, right? Mm-hmm. But I always hear, like, there's all these basic white chicks that are like, yeah. Oh, I love Blonde. And I'm like, Evan. I'm like, Evan.
I know, I hear that, and it makes me almost, like, not like the album less, but it makes me almost feel guilty for calling it, like, my favorite album. But then, like, just a few days ago, there was the sunset, and I biked down, and because I didn't know how, like, I didn't know anything about Frank Ocean or blah 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 when I first found the album. I just listened to it, I was like, holy crap, I love that. And the other day, I went for a bike, watched the sunset, put it on, like, man, there is no better album for me to watch a sunset to than Blonde. but it's just like I was at a bunch of friends were hanging out, and the girl had the same blonde poster as me in her room, and I was like, man, like, really, like,
bro,
like there's.
It's not a small art. He's not a small artist, though.
No, he's not. But I had no clue who he was when I first found him. I was just like, holy crap, I love this.
Sure.
And it's not that I'm gonna love it less. It's not like that I'm like gonna deny that it's my favorite album. But I feel like
I've had a somewhat similar
not
experience with Kaleo. I wouldn't say that they have both of their albums are some of my favorite albums ever, but I don't know if they're like my favorite. But a couple of years ago, there's a girl who went to high school with me who moved to she moved to a private academy her junior year, and I posted something about Kaleo on my Snap story, I think, and she was like, "You listen to Kaleo too?" And I'm thinking, this girl listens to Kaleo? And it's like this weird, bizarre, like, but it's interesting how their music tastes kind of overlap, even if you're a very kind of different person. And
yeah, but maybe I'm just a white girl.
Yeah, that was a girl I would make fun of for being vegan, and now she's.
I
don't. That's nothing against vegans. If you're vegan, I'm chill with you. I just like poking little. It's all in good fun. I'm not gonna keep eating your fake real food.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. Sometimes I hear people like certain demographics. People say how much they love blonde, and I'm like, man, can you not like it? Like, this is my album that I like. Stop making me feel bad for liking a really good. Frick off, man. But Fantano gave it like an 8, so it's valid. Okay. But
hey, on the Fantano thing, I've found people have always kind of, I don't know, people like treat Fantano like he's like music Jesus. And I just don't think that, like, people just, like, care a lot about what he has to say, and I just don't.
I honestly treat it like a bit of a meme where it's like, oh, Fantano gave this an 8, right? But then, like, for example, he doesn't really review country, so it's hard to pull examples from that.
Sure.
But, like, you know, then he gave, like, did he give Tory Lanez album a 1? Alone at Prom a 1? And I was like, it's just not a 1. But then there are some albums I listen to that he gives, like, a 9. And I go check it out. I'm like, dog, this is buns.
This is kind of mid. This
like,
is kind of bad.
It's great when, like...
the thing is...
It's funny when I agree. Yeah. Like, I'll listen to a review and be like, okay, this man is, like, speaking my freaking... Like, everything I thought this man's saying.
I just don't watch his videos.
Yeah, there's a lot of times... I only watch it when there's an album that I care about because I'm just curious. I'll, like, kind of skim through the review, see what he gave it. But then there are other times where I'm just like... And again, like... It's not like he's wrong or I'm wrong. It's both just opinions on music. But it's funny when it doesn't line up or lines up.
I had this thing that happened like a couple weeks ago. I was on YouTube, and one of his videos got recommended to me for some reason. And I was like, okay, I'll just click on it. You know, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I checked out a couple of his videos. I watched a couple of them all the way through, and I was like, this guy, like, I'm not discounting what he does. I said, like, keep going, bro. Like, I have nothing against him. As a dude, he seems pretty chill. Like, he's got a sense of humor, you know? But, like, at the same time, I'm also, like, I just don't care. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't like
I think it's because he's been doing it for so long, so consistently, that he's kind of just earned the respect of a lot of people. But I think some people will come along and, like, hold his opinion higher just because he's been doing it for so long. They think, like, oh, he must be right. Like, no. Even if Fantano... if Fantano gives an album a 1, but I like it, that's not going to make me think less of it or try and justify why I like it. Like, I will say Tory Lanez Alone at Prom was one of my favorite albums of last year, even though bro gave it a 1.
My biggest thing is that at least recently, I probably didn't used to be like this, but for the most part, I think I try to be less negative unless I just really, really did not have a good time. Like, I don't think I ever said that the Kane Brown album that we talked about today was trash, because I don't believe that. I think I've heard worse things. I've heard trash before. you know? Worry, and it's like, and I think I'm kind of, I don't like being super objective. I like I like making it clear that it's my opinion, I guess.
I completely relate to that. I feel like lately, I mean, obviously controversy sells, but I feel like I'm more, because of how much time goes into a video, unless it's like a very like important or big significant release that I like as a reviewer I kind of have to talk about. Like generally, if I don't like something, I'm not gonna review it. I'm gonna put that energy into something that I enjoy and want to push to more people.
Yeah.
Unless there's something like hysterically bad, or if I have like a funny skit idea or something, I'll throw that together. The only time I'm really like objectively negative now, I think, is like New Music Friday, because there's a whole thumbs down category.
It's
And-
one
but those are the
song, it's
songs-
not an entire project, too.
Yeah, but those are the songs that I didn't like. So I'm just going to go on and say, yeah, I didn't like this song. And here's why. But then it's like the rest of the video is like decent or thumbs up. But
You wanna, hey,
I know what you mean.
know-
It's I can't. I don't really care enough to be. I don't have the energy or the time to speak negatively about something when I could prop something else good up.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Hey, you want to know something I just realized?
What?
I completely forgot to prep for
Who the frick?
who the frick is this?
That's fine.
We might just not do it this episode,
fine,
or I could just pull up 3 random artists.
No. That's
yeah, let's
fine,
not
that's
do
fine.
that.
We don't do that.
I was gonna say something though.
I was too.
Besides
on the
that.
topic of reviewing.
I thought of something. You were talking about controversy a little bit. Something made me, like, I think it's funny. So all of my videos, the like to dislike ratio so far, I've posted like 4 or 5 videos at this point, it's 100% like to 0% dislike, except my Zach Bryan video. And I knew this would happen.
Yeah.
But it's got like what, like 212. Last time we checked, it was 212, I think, this morning. And like there was a person in the comments, and I went off. I didn't want to go off. I mentioned it in my most recent video on my channel. Like they're like, I think you just don't understand Zach. I don't think you get what he's doing. And I'm like,
No, I get it.
I'm like, no, I understand what he's doing. He's doing what he wants to do. He's literally like, it's like, you just don't understand the artist. He's just making music for the people and he's putting it out there. Yeah, I get that. That's who he is. I'm allowed to not like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I understand what Dog's doing. I just don't mess with it. Let me pull up one of my favorite videos simply because of how controversial it has become. I'm obviously speaking of my Hardy video from last year. Which is crazy to think. That video is almost a year
What?
old. That is
I'm
insane.
sure I watched it, but what is?
It's Gosh, is it a year old now? Where is it?
It's not like an album. Is it
No,
like?
it's not a year old.
Is it when?
So
it was when was it Hicks Tape 2? Was it?
Mixtape 2,
Okay.
and the video is
Oh.
what happened to Hardy. You know, the classic thumbnail of like dark clouds and a trending downwards animation, whatever.
Oh, is this? Oh, okay. Yeah.
And,
I remember this. I think.
like, so this is by far my most disliked video.
Really?
It's a 58.7%. So there's 74
Sheesh.
likes and 52 dislikes. And then if you go to it's so funny. It performed well though, 2,500
Okay,
views,
so that's
still
my-
gets views.
Okay, that's my thing with likes and dislikes. Some people use the dislike button very interestingly to me, because I like a video. If I disagreed with you, I would still like the video. Like that's just how I
Yeah.
am.
If you brought a fair point,
Yeah.
I liked the video. Even if I
Yeah.
didn't like the opinion, I liked what you
Yeah,
brought. And
but-
I'm not saying
but
people
people
can't
just
dislike
be-
my stuff.
yeah.
I don't think people
Yeah.
realize one thing about YouTube that I don't think people realize is when you dislike a video, YouTube's not saying like, "Oh, people aren't liking this. We're not going to send it to people." What actually happens is YouTube's like, "People are interacting with this. We're going to push it to more people." It's
Yeah.
why a video like it's every day, bro.
And also
got
they
pushed
removed
so
the
much, even though it was getting spam disliked, because it's so you like if you love it or hate it, like or dislike it, either one helps me just as much.
and they removed the dislike counter anyway. So like you can't even
Yeah.
like, even if you hit dislike, I'm
Which
the
is
only
kinda
person.
dumb, though.
I'm the only person that can. Oh well, they got rid of it because I'm not trying to. It's slightly a political thing though. They don't want to make people sad, and
I
they don't
care.
want
The game's the game. If you're posting
Yeah.
online, you got to be ready for that.
life.
But-
Roll with the punches.
I mean, I will say though, I was kind of setting with this video. The thing I wish I could change. This is before I did a face reveal, so I do get that speaking negatively while hiding my face is a bit different.
Sure.
But I get some. I'm always getting comments on this video every now and then. Someone comes around, and it's just like, it's just funny. 3 days ago, ASAP Rocky commented, "No way, is this like the real ASAP Rocky?" Anyways.
I want to read the comment I
Disgrace to
had.
country, and bro country shouldn't even be allowed to use country. I don't even listen to any new country. He is a joke to real country like George Strait. Hardy and Morgan Wallen are walking squatted trucks. That is not the comment I was looking for, but I just put newest first, and I didn't even see that comment come in. But dang, you gotta love those people.
Okay.
But your name's ASAP Rocky. Like, it's not...
Okay, can I read you the comment that there's a specific comment. There were other people that disagreed with me, but we had a civil conversation. I didn't even bother responding to this guy just because there was a certain thing he said that I was like, I don't care. He said, Zach obviously loves making music. He's just telling stories at the end of the day. There's a bunch of typos. So I'm kind of...
I love those.
I think you're missing the point of Zach's music. The man got his fame. Now he's telling every page he wrote over the years before he got recognized. I'm not disagreeing with that. People like Zach because he's real, not because he tends to the masses, but to each their own. I was like, I don't need him to tend to the masses. I personally just don't like how he's putting out music.
I know, people think like if I dislike a certain song or something, I must hate the artist. Like I can't wait for my massive New Music Friday roundup of like a month of music to go out when I give Burn 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 a decent because I thought it was just okay. But like, yeah, the comments on the Hardy video are funny. One guy says, hopefully this guy now regrets this video because he couldn't be any farther from wrong. First of all, I think you meant further from right. Because if I couldn't be further from wrong,
wrong, you're right.
Completely correct. And it's like, no, people think like because Hardy's now releasing good music that I must. No, at the time I thought this guy was making buns. Like if you went to a restaurant, right? And
I did this. I said the same thing.
Wait, what?
I said the same. Well, in my newest video, I said the same thing. It was actually
thing?
No, the music being buns.
I was gonna say because I'm just making this up on the spot. But if
No.
you go to a restaurant and the chef,
I
makes
said the
something
same thing.
That's good, right? You're like, oh, that's pretty good. If you go 5 times and 4 times in a row your meal has sucked, you're gonna say, wow, this chef, like, what's happening to this chef here, right? Now, if he goes and makes a really good meal, you acknowledge, wow, that's a good meal. Same thing with Hardy, right? Just because he's making good music now, just because Wait in the Truck is phenomenal, doesn't make Hixtape 2 any better. It doesn't make me like Hixtape 2 anymore. It doesn't make my opinion of Hardy at the time, when it seemed like he was trajecting down, any... Like, I wouldn't change that. Heck, the video's a year old, which brings me to another comment when this guy's like, this video, 1 month ago, okay?
Yeah.
This video is at peak irrelevancy now, laughing emoji, skull emoji. If it's at peak irrelevancy, then why are you 10 months late to it still commenting on it? What's going on?
It's an 8-month-old video, bro.
I know. And then, what are some other... It's just funny seeing, like,
yeah.
the
Well,
comments.
some
I do
people...
like them.
And I can't fault them for it. Everybody's different. And I also... That's why I like with those comments, it's not worth it to respond sometimes. Or maybe I can try to have a discussion, but all at the same time, is it worth it? But it's also... People are different, so it's like... They're going to enjoy, and they're going to feel how they're going to feel, and you're never going to please everybody, so it's just...
no, you're never going to. Can
Yeah.
I read some more comments? These are just
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
80s Guitar God says the guy with less than 1,600 views. Lol. First of all, it's at 2,500 now. Second of all, how does the size
You
of
should
my...
comment. You should comment.
No, I did. So I replied to the comment saying, I know, right? What a loser.
Oh.
So, it's just like, how does my view count validate or invalidate my view?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's one guy who did some quick math. And again, I will say...
How many views is enough? That's what you should have... How many...
As of now, I will say, like, my face is everywhere now, but at the time, I can see why it would bug people that I was dissing one of their favorite artists while not showing my face. But I do particularly like this math here. Sunglasses plus mask inside equals... Reverse everything the person says. Hixtape 2 is insanely good in all caps. And it's just like,
So wow,
reverse
so
everything
they're
the
actually
person says.
there's actually a decent amount of people that are upset that you were hiding. It seemed like
yeah.
they took you hiding your face as I'm scared of criticism.
I know, and it's crazy. It's like you think
I never thought about it like that.
You think I'm worried about this? Like you think that comment really? They're probably sitting like, oh man, I got overshore this time. No, I'm gonna go walk my dog. Probably go to Tim Hortons and make another video. And in fact, your comment almost makes me want to try and be more controversial, just because there are some people that have like that disagree. But voice it great. Like my boy Parker Beck here. I disagree. He's had a huge year. Wrote several songs on Morgan's album. And I think the songs he actually wrote on Hicks tape are pretty good. Fantastic way to disagree.
Yeah.
But
we appreciate comments like that. Civil discussion.
It's
a mature voicing of opinion is better than get more views, scrub.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll try. My bad, bro.
It's so fun. There's one comment I got on a video. I forget what video. Well, let me go see. It was kind of recent. So what's like a not overtly positive video I did recently? Maybe it was Did Summertime Blues Spoil American Heartbreak, which I thought was a really good album.
Summertime Blues or American Heartbreak? Sorry.
The video is Did Summertime Blues Spoil American
Yeah,
Heartbreak?
but you said I thought it was a really good album, and which one are you...
Oh, sorry, I thought that was a really good video.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know where it is, but one guy just commented, "Get a life." I particularly like that comment because it's so, like...
That's amazing.
It's so bare minimum hatred. And it's just like, I just laugh because
Bro,
I
there are
wonder,
mindless... You find with the people like Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, and Zach are the biggest ones to me. Their fans are the most annoying.
Yeah, honestly, Zach Bryan fans are getting up there. I can't lie.
I've interacted with them, and like, look, I enjoy Zach. I enjoy Harry Styles music. I enjoy Taylor Swift's, and I enjoy Zach's. You don't have to commit your life to an idol. Like, you could be an individual. You don't have to, like, live in worship of Zach Bryan.
They base their personality off of the artist and what they're doing.
Are you saying you're not excited for Burn, Burn, Burn?
I gave Burn, Burn, Burn a decent. Come at me. Like, every time Zach drops something, it's a clear, like, the board is wiped. The board is clear.
Like,
it's like same thing with any artist. If they drop something, it's not that their previous output changes my opinion on their next thing. It's still a clean slate. Let's see how good it is.
Like, I'm maybe one of the biggest Josh Turner fans, or I'm a fan of the guy. I'm not obsessed with him. I'm not stalking him. I'm not like one of those people, you know.
Yeah.
But he has songs that I don't like. Like Grady actually yesterday he's like wanting to know songs from artists people love, but they like songs they hate from artists they love. And I sent him the song Trailer Hood by Josh Turner because that's like always been my least favorite Josh Turner song. Like I just, it's not, it has a little redneck charm to it, but I'm always, it's the one, like if there was one that I skip, it's probably Trailer Hood. And so, I don't know. Some people are just so blindly like anything people make is like perfect. And I'm just like,
I know, but yeah, it makes for some great entertainment, like the Get a Life guy, because I wonder sometimes, I'm like, who needs to get a life? Okay, the 18-year-old making YouTube videos, in his parents' basement. Which, by the way, I'm sorry, I say that to be funny, but like, I think most people still live with their parents if they haven't gone to school yet, but or the other option is some 40-year-old guy taking time out of his day to watch an 18-year-old
and tell you get a life
in his basement and tell me it. Like, I love it. I actually like, not that I love hate comments. Like if I put out a video and all the comments are just like, this video sucks, I'm like, wow, that kind of like, that doesn't feel great. But normally the hate comments are just like,
irrational,
and it's just like, what? Like, maybe I should just make like what if when Taylor Swift drops her Midnight album, I just make like a 3-minute video and the thumbnail and title's just like super negative to see how many views I can get, and then just have the video be super like, yeah, it's a Taylor Swift album. I think it's pretty good. Just see how many comments.
I don't know
get.
I don't know if that would be worth it.
I don't
you
think
know?
it would, but it'd be funny. Just like how if I was rich, I would 100%
Yeah.
go to a Taylor Swift concert in a John Mayer shirt. That would absolutely occur. 100%.
I feel like if you went to a John Mayer concert with a Taylor Swift shirt on,
No one would
I
care.
feel like no one would care.
No one would care.
But you go
They
to a
probably-
Taylor Swift concert,
The thing is,
and-
if you go to a John Mayer concert with a Taylor Swift shirt on, people are
you'll
gonna
probably
be
make
like, "Hey,"
friends. But if you go to a Taylor Swift concert, you'll
people would be like, gee, wrong shirt. Or they'd laugh, be like, aha, right? You go to a Taylor Swift concert, bro, those 5-foot little blonde girls will pull knives. Like, they'll jump you like British roadmen style. You will have the whole arena coming at you. Heaven forbid Taylor Swift sees it, or she'll announce it over the microphones. Be like, someone's here with a John Mayer shirt. You're dead. You're dead. You don't get out of it alive. So, but it would be kind of fun to do. Actually, I don't know if I've said, I'm going to a concert in like really soon. Actually, it's like 4 weeks away. That's kind of hype.
are you talking about the Brett Eldridge one
No.
or a different one?
I don't know if Brett Eldridge is happening. This is
Oh.
a different one.
Big
I might
sad.
be going to see Brett Eldridge with my dad in Saginaw, not sure. But I am, with some friends, going to see Giveon, who's an R&B artist. We all love him, right? And the only reason I bring this up is because I was thinking, like, John Mayer shirt to a Taylor Swift concert. I got thinking of what people wear to concerts. We are going, like, completely formal. Like, me and my two buddies are going, like, dress
no.
pants, black dress shirts, and everything. It's
Like
going to be
like a
great.
3-piece suit.
Not a 3-piece suit, but we're going to get a tie and whatnot.
Okay.
And then just
like
to-
kind of like semi-formal
like a
maybe.
business formal
Okay.
kind of thing. We're gonna be looking slick. My buddy's bringing his PS Vita to take pictures.
What? He's gonna
'Cause
take
have you
pictures
seen-
on the
Have
PS
you seen the
Vita?
videos of people at festivals with like a DS filming like a little Uzi or something? So the plan is we're gonna go out to people and be like, hey, can you take a picture for us? And we're like, yeah,
Recording
we're
a
just going over
concert
PS
on a-
Vita.
Got the DSXL record. Do those have flashlights? You turn on the
I
flashlight.
don't know, but we're
They
just
probably
like,
don't.
man, if we get close enough, like if Giveon sees it, he's gonna have no choice but to like ask us up to take a selfie with the PS Vita. Like it has to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully I can see Brett Eldridge in. I don't know if that's happening, but it would be kind of cool. Here's the problem, right? No country artists come to Canada, man. They just don't. And if they do, they make two stops.
They're from Canada.
What?
And they're if they do, they're from Canada.
Exactly. But like if they come to Canada, they make two stops. They go Toronto, Calgary, that's it. And it's like, so unless you can make it down to the Toronto show, which by the way, you want to find tickets to anything in Toronto, that's like New York, okay? It's going to
Yeah.
be so expensive, it's not even worth it. And like Luke Combs put out his world tour thing, and he has two stops in Canada, Edmonton and Calgary. And it's like, KG, I'm not driving 4 days to see you. Like, that's great and all. You got a really cool lineup, but like, no. So concerts, like that's the thing, right? When people are always like, oh,
Indiana's
this
not
concert,
that
this
far.
concert.
He's
No.
probably coming to Indianapolis. I know it's not in
not
Canada,
that far, but like, it's 6 hours. It's across the border. It's in a new country. It's just like, I don't know. But I always hear people say, "Oh, I saw this person, this person,
That's-
this
I mean,
person,
that's
this
fair.
person," and it's just like, man, the only people that I get to see in concert are like a massive name or they're from like the area.
yeah,
That's it. Canada buns.
Whack. yeah.
That was a
Should
big
move.
move, but it was good. It filled the space because of a certain thing that we won't be doing today.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I'm probably not even gonna cut me out saying that. So they know.
He's gonna keep it transparent.
I don't
with
care.
that, I think we are good to move on to what are we listening to? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So do you want to go? Or, I'll go first because you seem very passionate about yours. So I want to give you more.
So is your album mid or something? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just bringing 2 songs.
Okay.
So it's nothing crazy.
Gotcha.
But what I am bringing is Madison Kozak. She is actually a Canadian. I forget if I said this. I think I said this on the in-person podcast, but I saw her at the Grand Ole Opry. She sounded fantastic. She comes up and she's like, "So I'm from Canada, y'all," and I'm like, Doesn't sound like it, but apparently
Cap.
she's been. Yeah, I was just like, I took my like ball cap off. I was just like, that's right, there is Cap, Mrs.
She is
But,
capping.
This woman.
That
is
woman is
capping.
capping.
Actually, that reminds me. This is so
Stop her! She's capping.
witchcraft. No, but like.
She's a witch. It just goes off the rails.
So I just
oh my
had to,
gosh.
it got me thinking. My mom texted me earlier. She's like, "Can
Mom.
you walk the dog today?" And I was like, "No." But then I said, "Just kidding." And then I said, "I'ma take Lizzie on the adventure of a lifetime. No cap for real." Bunch of emojis. And she just
No cap for real.
and there's all sorts of emojis and like accents on all the letters and
Yeah.
typos and everything. And
Yeah. What
She's
did
just-
you say? Okay. I bet
just
she
eye roll, just an eye roll.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I
so
love doing
she's-
that to people though. I love
It's so-
going. I love saying, "Yeah, I got you, fam. No cap for real. I got you on God." like,
It's
like
so
people
good.
actually talk like that, and that is
I know some
amazing. to
people
me.
that do. That's the best part. But Madison Kozak, okay. She moved to the States when she was like 14, so that's why she doesn't have the Canadian accent.
Oh
anymore.
God.
But, oh God. God did. DJ Khaled. I love the memes from that though. Bro, I saw one. So I will talk about what I'm listening to in a minute. But obviously Her Majesty kicked the can, okay? Heartbreaker.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting
So
us to talk.
the Queen has passed, which is genuinely sad because she was so sweet and all. But I saw this one thing, and it was just like, man, the Queen sat through like World War II, Hitler, 9/11.
She's seen like 16 different
Cold-
presidents or something like that.
Yeah, the Cold
Maybe not that
War,
many,
all
but-
these. She's been through all these terrible things, but the new DJ Khaled album is where she drew the line.
Well, one of the first things I saw about it, and I'm sorry if this, it's not really that offensive.
We're not
It-
trying to be insensitive, but
Yeah.
she lived a fantastic life. She was
Yeah.
a great lady. She's
Yeah.
96. Her time
But the
came.
the thing I saw was, it was like a, it was like one of those headlines you see like when a team gets eliminated, like it's in big bold letters. It just said, "The Queen Elizabeth II has," and it just said "eliminated" in red, big red letters. Like
saw
it's
one-
like it was the Hunger Games.
I saw one picture. It was like, to think that somebody probably found out the Queen died because of this image, and it was just a picture of Kobe crossing up the Queen in heaven.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. There's also one I'm a particular fan of this one.
When the Queen
Oh.
meets Kobe, he's crossing her. I saw a couple of those.
How did Queen Elizabeth drop before Frank Ocean? Are we bad people for laughing at this? 'cause
No,
everyone
we're
listening
not.
is laughing
We're
too.
not. Look, it's called a sense of humor.
Yeah,
It's
like-
sad that she died, but like, she'd be.
It
she'd be
happens,
alright.
bro. You're gonna die too, and I'm gonna be making Frank Ocean memes of it. No, I'm kidding. But
Yeah, if Evan caught a body right now, or caught a bullet, the bullet would have caught a body. Well, I messed that up.
with all that out of the way, Madison Kozak, Canadian, saw her perform at the Opry. She sounded really good. She dropped a new song called "What Does Sorry Mean?" And there's another one I want to talk about just because they are very similar, and it's one she performed at the Opry, If We Were a Country Song. Both are very pretty piano ballads. They have some really cool chord progressions, very jazzy, like a lot of fills and different transition chords that make it all, like, you hit some minor or flat notes, or like, I don't know if they're particularly accidentals, but really like dynamic sounding, very like, I don't necessarily know the word I'm looking for, but it's very attention to detail, like fine-tuned music. It's not like a simple like C, G, D, piano chord, whatever. Both songs are very pretty. I think "What Does Sorry Mean?" Ooh, I don't know which one I
Sorry.
actually liked better. But I do want to point out the lyrics in "If We Were a Country Song." I think they are very. It's playing now, dang it.
Bruh.
Because I'm recording for you, Jaron, so I'm using my phone. Let me read this. I actually really
Damn,
like how
Evan
she,
really just guilt tripping me right there.
Yeah. I really like these lyrics though. If we were a country song, we'd be the kind people break up to and then make love all night. But then this is the part I like. Like whiskey and vinyl, certified gold, hanging on the mantle with a million teardrops sold. And it's just like, it's a really clever song about like if our relationship was a country song, what would it be?
What's her
like,
name?
how would it
Madison.
sound? Madison Kozak, Kozak.
Kozak. I'll have to check it
And
out.
so yeah, like she's on Big Loud.
Let me save
It
it.
sounds like she's being pushed kind of hard.
I've never heard
but
of her.
up until I don't know much. I have only heard a handful of songs from her. But from
She
what she's
kind of looks
putting
like
out,
Reagan Stewart a little bit.
I could see that. But from what she's putting out, I like the direction she's moving, and I'm interested to see where she goes. It's quite unique in my opinion from the songs that I've heard.
Which were the two songs that you brought? Sorry.
So what does Sorry
if we
mean
were
is
if
the
we
most
if we were a
recent-
country song.
if we
was
were a
that the
country
other
song.
one?
If I had to recommend one, if we were a country song, I love that.
Okay,
I love
I'll save it.
And that is, yeah, I didn't bring an album this time, but just that is what I've been listening to. I've been listening to those songs quite a bit lately, and I kind of just want to check them out because I think you should check them out.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before I get into my album, I really quickly have it's not really a story, but it's a slightly embarrassing, funny thing that I realized. So I think it was sometime within the past week. It was late at night. I was on my phone, and I forget. I think Tennille Towns had posted something, and I think I've spoken on how like I've had brief DM conversations with her before.
Yeah.
And oh no, I remember what it was. So this is what it was. I was on my own profile. I don't remember what I was doing. Sometimes I just go back and look at my old posts and just be like, do I want to delete this or like
We
that
all
kind of
do
thing. My most recent post, I tagged Tennille Towns for some reason. And I don't remember doing this.
What
It's literally just I think it's my most recent post on Instagram. And I think I was just feeling spontaneous.
That's a cute picture to tag her with.
Yeah, and I was like, it was literally that first picture too. Like the first picture.
Oh, did you remove the tag?
I did.
Ah.
I
Tell
did.
me she liked it. Did she like it?
She didn't like it. But I felt really awkward because I was like, wait a second. When you tag people in things, it notifies them
Yeah.
through a message. And so I went to my messages with Tennille Towns, and it had tagged her, and it said "seen," and I was like, "Oh God!" It's like, Sharon, why? Why did you do that? And it's only awkward because I had I don't want to call it a mental breakdown. I had a moment of crisis last year, and I actually reached out to Tennille, and I was like, "Hey, Tennille, I'm going through all this stuff." Like,
But then she responded.
and she did respond, and it was cool. And she was like, "Hey, I'm like in your corner. Like, you got this." Like, very Tennille, just a great person. That kind of
Canadian.
a very.
If Tennille was from Nashville, you would have left on scene. She probably would have responded, "Lol, bad."
Tennille, if I were to meet any artist, and I know it's a meme, I'm in love with Tennille, whatever. I'm not actually in love with her, but if I were to meet any artist,
if she's
I would
listening,
probably-
I'm not actually
No.
in love.
trying to save face. No, she's just such a nice, genuine person that I would probably want
Jaron
to
just
meet.
likes the personality.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Look, bro, it's not my fault that she's an amazing person, but also very beautiful at the same time. Okay, so frick off, bro. Also, call me. But this was getting somewhere. So like we'd had those messages, and I'm kind of from. It was just I had this
Probably
like
thinks you're a
God.
nut job.
I had this like, oh God, like if this country music thing that I'm doing right now works out and I have to meet her someday, like I hope she doesn't remember that. It's not even
She
that
will.
bad. It's not even that bad. It's just like, it's like what is this? Like I'm imagining her like, somebody tags her. I was probably, I don't even remember when I posted that. I think it was late at night. So I was probably like, haha, I'm just memeing around. I'm with all my friends. I'm like, watch this. I'm going to tag Tennille Towns. And then I didn't think anything of it after that, you know? And then, of course, because she checks her DMs, she freaking, I don't know, man. It's so freaking stupid. It made me, I laid there in my bed after I had that realization. I just laid there in my bed for like 10 minutes. I was like, you're an idiot. I was like, you're just a freaking big idiot. That's all you are. I was like, ugh. I just felt like I should share that though.
That is
I thought it was
hilarious.
funny.
I'm so glad you did. And now to the album.
My album. I really.
Is it related to Tennille Towns at all?
No.
Okay, keep going then.
Not at all. This is a really cool. So, like a lot of other really good albums that I brought to Who the Frick, I found this one through Spotify's autoplay feature. I was listening to. I might have been listening to Lizzie McAlpine actually. I might have been listening to Eloise, which I think I have brought her stuff on the
I believe
podcast
so.
before. I think it was Eloise. And after I finished one of her, I forget, it might have been the EP or the album. I finished it and it autoplayed, and it was an album called, well, the title track of the album called Gene Leon played. The artist name is Micah Edwards, and I was like, I really like this. I'm gonna kind of paraphrase what his bio on Spotify says, just because I think it's a good description of what he does. This album is like, it's like retro soul and with a little bit of classic country, and it's kind of got like retro pop vibes.
I like his vibe just in the pictures I'm seeing on like his profile.
Yeah,
I have downloaded this album. I like
his voice is very. I would compare it to, it's smooth, like it goes down real easy, kind of like Michael Bublé, or
okay,
maybe even a little similar in feel to Brett Eldredge. Although I would say Brett Eldredge's voice is a little bit more like in your face.
Yeah, great.
Maybe Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake is a good. I think he's got a good kind of simple but like nice voice. This is that's a good example. But the thing where this music really shines is the writing's really good for sure, but the instrumentation. He does not stray from. I feel like this is his first album, but this is kind of like a Sunday Drive moment for me, where he's like embracing what it feels like he really wants to be, like this is what he wants to be doing. Like it feels like he's in his element. I've listened to a couple of other stuff that isn't on this album. It's a little bit different. It's still good, but this album it feels different from everything else. And it's very, it's not jazz, but it just feels so warm and like smooth. I recommended this album to my friend, and they said that when they listen to it, it just makes them feel like the coolest person ever. Like just kind of like chill and laid back, and like, I don't know, like just really good vibes. But let me actually, so what are the songs on this album? I think it's only 10 tracks.
Yep, 34 minutes.
Girl from the Valley is probably my favorite song. Gene Leon, the title track, is good.
How many monthly listeners does this guy have?
Not like a ton. Well, that's decent actually. 681,000 monthly listeners.
That's pretty good. I wonder where from.
I don't know, but like looking at streams from his other stuff, I think he has like a couple particular songs that aren't on this album that are like that draw in most of his streams. Because this, like, it's one of those things where like he had some other songs that were really popular. This album came out, and I think it's his best stuff, but like generally like people aren't like listening to it as much. I don't think it came out in like June, but To Mama is really good. She Will, Time. The latter half of this album is a little bit more melancholy and kind of leans more into that country. There's a little bit of country influence there. It's just really good. I would compare it to Sunday Drive. It has a similar feel. I think that like I don't have a complaint with this album. My favorite thing about it though is and I started to talk about it, but I got distracted. The instrumentation, so much brass, and like there's like trumpets, trombones, but there's also like clarinets, and then you got like a flute and a piccolo and all this other stuff.
I like that.
And it's very, so like when I compare it to Sunday Drive, I'm very like I'm thinking of, yeah, and I'm also thinking of like Paris, Illinois. Very much that album. That is the song I think of when I think of that album's sound, because it's very. it leans into the trumpets and the horns and the laid back kind of melancholy sound, and so I would very much recommend this album. I freaking love it. I don't know. I had never heard of it. Was weird. I was kind of surprised I had never heard of him at all, and that I found him on Spotify autoplay. But
Think of how many artists are out there that you don't know.
yeah, there's a ton
There's
of
a
them.
few,
But
probably at least 3.
at least 3. At least, bro. Oh, but it's so good. So yeah, check it out.
I'm gonna check that out.
It's a
I
freaking
have to
banger.
walk the dog after we record, so I'm gonna check.
What the
out
dog
this.
doing?
What the dog doing? Probably sleeping. That's what he always does.
I
There's
have
like
to
a
pee.
really good picture of Archie today that I'm gonna send to you, but that is irrelevant to the listeners of the podcast. That is
we're
what
gonna
we've
hold
been
him
listening to,
hostage.
folks.
Well, there's no who the frick is this because I forgot.
Jaron Forgore, guys.
Yeah. I genuinely did. I was like, I'm ready. I'm so ready. I just did not it did not cross my mind. I was not. I've kind of been in the zone with my own channel, and I was like, okay, we got the albums that we're covering, and I was like, we're good. And I forgot.
Jaron's just got too much going.
But I'll make sure we're on it next time. For movies and music, you need to. I'll let you choose. Would you rather do Rocky or Southpaw? Southpaw is a movie that came out in like 2013 or 14, I think.
I've heard of Southpaw.
And it's about, oh crap, is it? I think it might be boxing. It's been too long since I've seen it. I just know I really liked it. It's a fighting movie, and it's a bit more of a tragedy than Rocky is, but Rocky's like iconic. We'll do both of those movies, but I figured I'd let you just choose one. Just
Let's
do
go
it
Southpaw.
live.
Let's go Southpaw.
Okay, we'll do Southpaw.
Jake
Gyllenhaal's in that one.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Swifties who hate Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, we can make Jake Gyllenhaal be relevant in the world of country music. You know
let's
about
make
this whole
that
thing,
our mission.
right?
Let's make that our mission. What if
You
I
know
get a
about-
Jake Gyllenhaal cardboard cutout and put it on my wall? You get John Mayer, or one of the
I
other.
want to get Pitbull. I'll get. Oh no, that's a good idea though. I like that. Make those
like that.
Swifties mad. I'll get John Mayer and you get Jake Gyllenhaal. You do know about like the whole. You know about the sweater thing, right? Or the
Yeah.
sweat? No, it was not a sweater. Scarf.
Yeah.
Scarf from All Too Well. Yeah.
I've been thinking about like trying to get like a blanket or something suspended to make my like.
This episode will never end, guys. It's never
No,
gonna
I'm just
end.
saying to make my background like a little more like blank, so you know my room in the back, and maybe like just to spice up instead of just having a white background. Maybe I'll
We
just
should
have
get a
Jake
cardboard
Gyllenhaal.
cutout of Grady and put it behind both of us.
Grady is always watching.
I think it would. We won't actually do that, but
No.
I think it'd be. I don't know if it'd make him uncomfortable. I wonder what Grady would think. He listens to these, so who knows?
If I search Jake. Oh my gosh, how do you spell the guy's last name? Oh, it's pretty close.
G-Y.
That's some weird. Where is he from again?
I think he's from.
Where is his family from?
I think his family might be from somewhere else, but I think he grew
Like
up
Nordic
in
or something.
Nordic. I don't think so.
How that's spelled? That seems like some Sweden or something. Oh,
Look it up. Did you look it up?
I'm looking at Jake Gyllenhaal cardboard cutout, life size, 1997 to 69.97. I think. Okay, so life size is $70.
Who's out here making a living off of this?
A genius.
I have to pay. Oh my gosh, I can get cardboard cutouts on eBay of John Mayer and of him in different outfits. Like I have options. Like
Hold on, let me search it. John Mayer.
I just searched
Cardboard.
John Mayer cardboard cutout and they're all $70. One of them is him in a cardigan.
He's a
What?
bro. John Mayer's a drippy guy, I tell you.
He is.
He
He's
really
got the
does
drip.
have the style down. What if I just go Jake Gyllenhaal face? Like I don't need the whole thing.
No, I want the body.
£3.55.
I want the whole thing. Life size cutout. I need it.
VIP cutouts.
Jesus.
Jake
Okay, the
Hold
price
on.
is $70.
How big
The
is
shipping
this?
is 15. This
So
says
yeah.
life size.
I can get. How
Mine
much
does.
is it?
It's $70 plus
I can
15.
get
If I get give me a
Jake
few
Gyllen-
paychecks. Give me a few paychecks and this will be mine.
I can, or you could just go the face. I can get a Jake Gyllenhaal cutout of his face that
Bro.
is like the height of a ruler, which is much
Okay.
bigger than the average face, for £3.35. That's like $7 Canadian. Not even. That's like $5 or $6.
I think I want the whole body. $70 is a lot, but the thing is, I think it'd be really funny if I recorded every. I'm thinking about going to different locations for, not every video. I might do. I'll still do videos in my room.
I want to
I've-
do that. I've thought about doing videos in different locations. The only problem is getting my mic and everything set up.
Yeah, the thing is, it's relatively easy for me because I can hold the mic. I have the laptop, and I can just
Yeah.
mount the.
And
can
I
just mount
have
my-
thought about. I almost did a video outside. I almost recorded a video while I was at a cottage with friends, but then I didn't. Want to do that.
Yeah.
Alibaba. This is gonna be.
But I
cheap.
think it'd be funny if I was in different locations and the John Mayer cardboard cutout was with me, like just in every single one. Like it's just there. Like it's part of the set that moves with me. And I'd slowly collect new things, if that makes sense. Like different items. Like there'd be a cardboard cutout, and who knows. I'm spontaneous like
This has
that.
been beautiful. I love this episode.
Yeah, you guys that are still listening. This episode has been a lot of us just talking about things. We talked about YouTube comments for a long time.
It's good. What if I hold
Yeah.
on before we send this? I wonder how cheap I can get it on Etsy. John Mayer.
If you find a
Cardboard
relatively
cutout.
cheap.
I can get Hasbulla.
Oh, is that the midget dude?
Nah, so there's really like no cardboard.
I'm
cutouts
imagining
on
just
here.
having a midget cardboard cut, or him, but it's like actually twice his size.
What is this?
Isn't Hasbulla the midget dude?
Yeah.
I mean,
$25
that's insensitive? I feel like. I'm sorry. The
No,
dwarf.
it is. He's like 19 and he's like 2 foot. Pack of 6? Huh? Wait.
Wait, what? I can get a pack. Wait, hold up. I can get 6 cardboard cutouts. Is that what you're
Hold
telling me? Evan, I gotta pee.
For $40, I can get 6 cardboard cutouts. But I don't think I don't know how to pick the face on this. I don't want some random dude. I don't know, man. Maybe in the future you'll see some cardboard. I just build like a crowd here. Just have a crowd watching me record my videos. That would be elite. I could get like Morgan.
If
and
I do it,
Sam's
if I
mugshots
during
and
the
stuff.
podcast, I might always just have like the John Mayer cardboard like laying down.
But I'll tell you, anytime I'm gonna talk about Taylor Swift, you know the Mayer cutouts coming out.
Yeah. And put a Swifty like get a white T-shirt and write Swifty on it and put it over him.
I hate that. Like now, I'm gonna wind up spending my money on this, but
It's for hey, you can write it off YouTube. It's a work tax write-off.
expense.
Yeah, work expense
All right,
tax
we
write-off.
gotta. The people want to go probably, or they don't. Maybe they don't. But thank you for
I have-
joining us today on episode 30. Jaron really has to use the washroom, doesn't he?
I have to pee.